Hello my creative friends. If you're a follower of my blog, then you probably saw this card that I did in my Need for Speed series. This is the first card, and I'll try and post a link on YouTube if you're watching it on YouTube. I don't have a video for this one, but I am going to do a video for the second card. Here's the Need for Speed stamp set. It's got some great images, and if you have any men in your life that you make cards for, these make some great masculine cards. So let's get started on today's. We're going to be using this image from the Need for Speed set. And the first thing I'm going to do is actually take a post-it note. You can use your copier paper, any kind of thin paper, but the post-it note works really nicely because there's a little bit of tack to the back and it won't damage your paper. It doesn't matter what color ink you used. I'm using Pool Party because I'll be using that later on the card. But what I'm going to do is just stamp the boat onto the stickiness. Then I'm going to take my scissors and just trim away. And I'm actually going to cut on the line. You don't have to be too careful about this, but what you're doing is creating a mask. And when you're done, this is what you end up with. For our center panel, what we're going to use is a piece of Whisper White cardstock that's 3 3/4 by 5, and we're going to take StazOn jet black ink. You're going to ink up your image and do it in the lower left corner. Now anytime you use StazOn, it's a really good idea to use StazOn cleaner to clean it. And I found that by using that immediately after I ink up my image, I tend to not have too much rubber staining. The StazOn cleaner works really, really well. The next thing you're going to do is to take that image that you stamped and cover up the image of the boat. I'm using the Clockworks stamp set by Stampin' Up, and I'm using these two images, and I'm just going to create a background using the Pool Party ink, stamping randomly over my covered image. I know it probably looks a little bit like a mess right now, but when you peel away the masking tape, you've got your boat in there all clean and crisp. The next thing I'm going to take is wordplay, and I'm going to use Sick, Feel Better Soon. It's nice to have some masculine get well soon cards on hand. Again, I'm going to use black StazOn. One other note about the StazOn ink is that it dries really fast, so make sure you cover it after you're done stamping. Don't leave it out in the air, it can dry up. So here's my main focal image. Now, if you wanted to, you could just have this be your entire card and you would be done. But I like to layer, so I'm going to step it up just a bit. This is the standard card base that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. What I'm going to do is layer this piece. Remember, this was 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. So this is 1/8 of an inch larger. The Pool Party base. So 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and then this will be the black we're going to mat it on. 4 by 5 1/4. And that will give us a nice big border around. So smaller borders on the image piece and then a larger border all the way around. Let me get my snail. And that's my card for today, card number 2 in my Need for Speed series. Hope you enjoy it. Check out my blog for more pictures, ideas, and inspiration at heatherscreativeblessings.blogspot.com. Have a great day. Bye.